Before we start the show, I'd like to give a big thank you to all of our loyal supporters. Because of you, we've had our video time extended, and that means more Star Wars awesomeness and customs for you over the coming weeks. Thank you. And now, welcome friends all over the galaxy to episode 17 of the Kessel Run Review. Hit it, Boots! To get your entry in for the Custom Create a Wookiee Lover 1138 contest on the Imperial Shipyards. The deadline is 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on June 30th. And while you're there, stop by the fanfiction section to check out Chapter 1 of Wookiee Rising. I'd love to hear what you think. Now let's jump on over to Hyperspace Lanes and take a look at the Separatist Droid Tri-Fighter and my new hangar bay. Everyone remembers the buzz droid dropping Droid Tri-Fighter from the opening scene of The Revenge of the Sith. But this malicious, heavily armed droid first appeared in the Clone Wars novel, Jedi Trial. Since it has appeared in the Clone Wars episodes Night Sisters and Citadel Rescue, this Clone Wars version was made. It is the same droid as the Revenge of the Sith version, but with a new and, I think, better paint job. The Tri-Fighter comes with 3 firing missiles and 2 detachable bombs. The center sphere rotates, and housed inside are 3 closed-up buzz droids, and 2 that have already sprung into action. The 2 open buzz droids can attach to the Tri-Fighter's hull, which is cool, but doesn't really make that much sense, since their job is to tear apart Republic ships. A special thanks to Hangar Bay 94 for the textures from his downloaded diorama. If you'd like to make your own Hangar Bay using Hangar Bay 94's free printouts, just visit his website at xwa-webcomic.com. It's under the Members Only section, and it's free to join.
Unemployed, having trouble making ends meet, then join the Empire. If you are a species that can fit into this armor, you have what it takes to be a stormtrooper. Or, if you have a really odd-shaped head, you could succeed as a Death Star gunner. New positions are opening daily. Get to your nearest intake processing center immediately.
In this edition of Custom Cargo, we have some wonderful customs by SithHappens, Colin, Lingus, Hobbs, and Dan of the Dead. So let's begin with the colorful clones of SithHappens.
I made a lot of special modifications myself.
We're starting off with this awesome 2-tone clone. SithHappens created him using a Clone Wars clone trooper body, which he repainted with Regal Blue, Ice Blue, Mithril Silver, and Chaos Black. His look was completed once SithHappens added a Warhammer decal to the chestplate of his armor. This next clone has to be one of my favorites. I love the color scheme and details. This beauty is made from the body of a Clone Wars clone. He was then repainted with Macarius Solar Orange, Mithril Silver, and Chaos Black. SithHappens finally added Warhammer ammo pouches and weathered him with a black wash to finish him up. Great job, SithHappens. If you'd like to see more of his work, you can check out his blog at sanitariumcustoms.blogspot.com, or you can find him around the yards. Now let's take a look at 2 killer Wookiees. Who wrote this? They're fired. Come on, please. Killer Wookiees? They're just giant fuzzballs. Okay. So let's take a look at 2 killer customs of Wookiees by Colin, Lingus, Hobbs. Gurwara is a longtime confidant of Master Yoda. He began his Jedi training as Yoda's Padawan in 277 BBY. Like many other Jedi, Gurwara was killed during the execution of Order 66 while on a peacekeeping visit to Dantooine by his chief security clone. Colin used a Build-A-Droid Chewbacca Sandstorm, combined with a vintage collection Anakin Skywalker torso. Then he fashioned a walking stick for him out of a twig to complete his look. Growing up on the streets, Calhoun was a swindler, street fighter, and distant cousin of Chewbacca. Using his profits, he eventually purchased the Mos Eisley Cantina, which quickly became popular amongst the most vile of scum. However, Calhoun preferred to stay in the back office, being mistaken as a bouncer most of the time. He continued to own the cantina until about 20 years after the Battle of Endor. Colin's Calhoun is a terrific representation with his datapad in hand taken from a VTC Lobot. His body was created with a Legacy Saga Legends Chewbacca head, arms, and legs, and a 30th anniversary collection Vulviv Mons torso, with belts and sashes from a TAC Roran Korob. I don't know about you, but I want one of each for my collection. You never fail to impress me, Colin. If you'd like to see more of Colin Lingus Hobbs' work, you can find him on Facebook. For our third customizer, we have Dan of the Dead, and a couple of stellar Mandos. Dan of the Dead says his Mandalorian commander is a simple repaint and head swap, but the finished figure looks anything but that. Using a concept Snowtrooper base and a concept Boba Fett helmet, he painted him in a black and white color scheme with a red visor, denoting him as a commander or other rank of importance on the battlefield. Dan of the Dead completed his look with a second holster and pistol to give him a little Old West flavor. This Mando Sniper is another simple yet stunning figure. Created by combining a Clone Wars pre-Vizsla body with a Macquarie concept Boba helmet, Dan of the Dead finished this customs look with a minor black and blue repaint, mostly to the helmet. Amazing job on both figures. If you'd like to view more of his work, check out his website at danofthedead.com, or you can find him around the yards.
I made a lot of special modifications myself.
As always, I'd like to thank this episode's fantastic artists for submitting their work, and you, the Wookiee Army, for watching. You can find links to the artist pages on my website at chirla.com/KesselRunReview, or stop by my Facebook page at WookieLover1138 of the Kessel Run Review and let me know what you thought of this episode. Or, if you'd like your work featured on a show, drop me an email at WookieLover1138@gmail.com. Until next time, my friends, may the Force be with you.
He can go about his business. Move along.
In just moments, we will be going live to a press conference where Emperor Palpatine is expected to talk about how he is making the galaxy a better place, how construction of his new Death Star has created over 95,000 new jobs, and announce who the surprise musical guests at his galaxy-wide birthday party celebration will be.